Fred Hoiberg brings in 8 newcomers to Nebraska this season, giving him the 68th best class overall, the 63rd best freshman class, and the 60th best transfer class. I'm going to break down the film of all 8, including a freshman that could very well be the next Keisei Tominaga. Connor Essegian is a 6-foot junior shooting guard that transfers from Wisconsin. Last season, he averaged 7.3 minutes, 3.2 points, and 0.8 rebounds, shooting only 30% from 3. There is tons of upside as a shooter, and he showed a lot of it his freshman season, making the Big Ten all-freshman team, but last year just really didn't fit into a role for what Wisconsin needed. One of the biggest reasons he didn't get a consistent role was probably the defense. Not super quick, not super strong, and it is an area he needs development in. When you combine that with a lower three-point shooting percentage, now some of that is because of the inconsistent role, it just made him tough to play. But when you look back at what he's able to do and what he did, especially his freshman year, there is so much upside as a shooter, and he feels like a Nebraska guy. He is one of the better, if not one of the best movement shooters in the entire country. So running off of screens, running off pin downs, things like that, Essegian is very comfortable. Such a quick release and really can run off of anything. Now, he isn't much of a driver, but if needed, he can. He just needs to be able to fit into the Nebraska defensive system, get flowing in the offense, and get some confidence again. All right, so on this play right here, we're going to show Connor Essegian showing off that movement shooting that he has. This is going to be him right here, number 3 in white. And so he's going to kind of cut through part of the play, Wisconsin's offense, right? Lots of movements and cutting through. And so now this is where he's going to get the pin in. And so this is going to be kind of a down screen for him, be able to come off. It can be a pure pin down for him. He can come off stuff like this. He can float it along the perimeter on the side. It really doesn't matter. Just let him get some sort of space off of a screen. This time he does a good job flaring it kind of back to the quarter, knowing his defender's trying to go over the top. And he can get set. I mean, that's just such a quick set and release. Gets the shot up quickly and able to knock it down. Braxton Meah is a 7'1", fifth-year center transferring from Washington. He averaged 5.3 points, 5.3 rebounds, 0.8 blocks in 17 minutes a game while shooting 77% from the field. Teams shot 59% at the rim when he was on the floor and 66% when he was off. For comparison, the D1 average is 61%. Now, Meah is going to do 3 things, and he's going to do them well. He's going to dunk the ball, he is going to hit the glass, and he's going to protect the rim. He could be a legit roller and lob threat. He had the highest 2-point percentage in the entire country, a lot of it coming off of dunks. The one thing with him, though, is you do have to slow down your pace. If you speed up, he's really not going to be able to be too involved in the half court and transition. Defensively, he's not going to roam outside at all. He's going to stay kind of within the painted area. He's going to be in drop coverage mainly against pick and rolls, and he is going to protect the rim. I think offensively, he can be a solid screener. Now, back on the defense, in pick and roll, I think he's fine in drop. What he's really best at is just purely staying around the rim and being able to protect it. Now, he's not a post-up guy at all offensively, and I still don't think he has the best hands, but get him on a roll, get him on a cut, let him dunk the ball. So on this play right here, we're going to show Meah being able to roll and then go to the rim and dunk. So this is going to be him right here at the top of the key. And like I said, I think he's a pretty good screen setter. Kind of slips this one a little bit and is able to kind of get downhill. So defense makes a mistake, right? Putting eventually 2 on the ball where they're not supposed to. There's no backside rotation. And if this is going to happen, if he has any sort of space anywhere in the paint, you can kind of just toss this one up. He's going to go get it and dunk it. Gavin Griffith is a 6'8" sophomore small forward transferring from Rutgers. He averaged 5.8 points, 2.2 rebounds, and shot 28.2% from 3. Last year, it just was not a good fit for him at Rutgers. He needed a better scenario and situation to allow him to be able to really develop and kind of use his offensive traits. Very few players in the entire country took a higher percentage of their catch and shoot threes being contested compared to open. So pretty much most of his looks were contested. Now in terms of his game itself though, there's a lot of things to improve. I don't think he has the best dribbling right now. It's a pretty loose handle, and in terms of size, he doesn't really have much muscle mass to be able to create opportunities for him on drives. I like the Nebraska fit a lot more because he can kind of get to some movement shooting and just shooting in general. I'm hoping that he can kind of get his confidence back up because in high school he was an absolute flamethrower from 3. Last year he shot awful from 3. In terms of things besides shooting though, it's hard for him to maintain really any advantage he creates. That's going to just kind of come with time and developing his body. He needs to be able to play off someone that can create looks for him, at least some advantages that he can then maintain. Defensively, he relies on kind of the length, and he has pretty good length, 6'8". He is lanky in general to cover up foot speed. All right, so we're going to take a look here at a play for Gavin Griffith getting kind of an open three off of movement and just looking at the upside that he has. So Rutgers is going to flow through their offense. Griffiths is here in this kind of weak side corner. Flow through the offense, and this is eventually going to be a pin down for Griffiths. Now, Griffiths does a good job, kind of almost just like a stop and go, and moving the defender off him just a bit. And so now defender has to go over the top. Griffiths is going to kind of flare this back out and then get a good look. Now, I think for him it is very, very important to be completely set, which how his form is. That time he's able to get it to go. Braden Frager is a 6'6" small forward freshman. He averaged 18.3 points, 7.0 rebounds, and 1.2 assists at Southwest in Nebraska. He is a very, very athletic wing that I think physically can translate to the Big Ten pretty much right away. He is a guy that in high school, he got downhill into the paint a ton. Now, I think at the Big Ten level, a kind of swing skill for him will be whether the handle tightens up or not. Being able to physically get there, but then still having the skill to actually get there and convert at the rim. In high school, he got out in transition a lot. Maybe that translates, maybe it doesn't. We'll see what happens. But athletically, he can very much finish above the rim and can convert pretty well at the rim. Now, he did not shoot well from three last season. His pretty slow release. The mechanics seem fine, so part of it could also just be some of the shots he took were very, very tough. For me, the defense is very, very much just to be determined. I think kind of what he pans out to be in terms of position is going to have a big impact. Is he trying to be this bigger three, or is he trying to be more of a Big Ten level 4? Like I said, though, overall, just very good athleticism, solid feel, and I like the upside long-term and what he could be. All right, so we're going to take a look here from Frager and just being able to get into the paint, which is the biggest thing that I think will translate from day one. So it's going to be him right here with the ball. And so defense is kind of in a 2-3 zone. He's just going to be able to attack, get downhill. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Look, ISO's up a bit, and then just is able to use a pretty good first step, pretty strong first step, get downhill. And then he has pretty good body control and that athleticism to evade the defense and then get a clean look right here that he's able to get to go. Rollie Worster is a 6'4", fifth-year combo guard transferring from Utah. He averaged 9.9 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 5.5 assists in 31 minutes a game last year. Worster is a very, very good passer. He isn't somebody that's going to necessarily create insane open looks for guys, but he is going to run the offense and he is going to run it well. Not going to force a ton and make risky passes, but because of that, he isn't going to make a ton of bad passes and have a lot of turnovers. Utah ran a ton of pick and roll, and so what he does at 6'4", a little over 200 pounds, is he uses his body to get downhill. He doesn't have super quick first step or anything, but he has good physicality, good strength, and good control of his body to try and get 2 feet into the paint. No, he does not have efficient shooting. He's been less than 30% from three in 3 out of his 4 seasons in college. And defensively, I think he gets burned a bit by quicker guards, but when he can use his body, that's when he finds success. Overall, he isn't a super efficient offensive guy in terms of scoring, but facilitating the ball, he can run the offense and just make the right play. All right, so we're going to take a look at the passing from Worster right here. And so it's going to be him with the ball and pick and roll right here, kind of in transition, right? You can see there's only 4 seconds taken off from the shot clock. So as he brings the ball up, kind of a drag screen. And so two defenders on the ball right here. He's looking initially for this roller because it's going to be his guy that kind of helped onto him. Defense does a good job of rotating, and so then he's just going to make this really quick and really good pass, cross-court skip, finding the open guy right away, and then giving him the chance to knock one down. Andrew Morgan is a 6'10" senior center transferring from North Dakota State. He averaged 12.9 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist in 23 minutes a game. Morgan is a big that wants to get to the rim in the post. He has a lot of post-ups, and what he goes to a lot is drop steps, or really just trying to bully his way through the defender. Because of that, he does draw a ton of fouls. He's not somebody in the post that is really going to get to the hook shot, and he doesn't really have great touch on it. He has a bit of an outside shot, 37.5% from 3, but very, very low volume, not enough, I think, to really move a defense. The fit that he has with Nebraska is he can kind of be used as this top of the key handoff hub that Nebraska loves to have. He can be a roller off of it and then use that also to seal into post-ups if needed. He's not an elite shot blocker, but he does a pretty good job protecting the rim in terms of just walling up. He does get in foul trouble a lot, and that's something if he's going to play big minutes, he's going to have to kind of curb. But he's also a very, very good offensive rebounder. All right, so on this clip, I want to show Morgan's ability to kind of fit into something that Nebraska wants to do. This is going to be him here at the top of the key. And so he has it here kind of scanning the floor, see what happens. And then they're going to flow into kind of, it's not necessarily a handoff, this is a pick and roll, but this get action where you throw it, go set a screen. And now there's nobody in this entire area defensively. And so now once he rolls, he just has to kind of get behind this defender because there is nobody else that's going to be able to help. And so really good pocket pass there from the point guard. And now Morgan can kind of just bully his way and get the dunk. Berke Buyuktuncel is a 6'9" sophomore forward transferring from UCLA. He averaged 4.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 0.4 assists in 16.3 minutes a game. To me, he feels very much just like this kind of 4-5 hybrid, depending on how Nebraska wants to use him. Offensively, he likes to work from the post and where he really wants to get to his left hand. He doesn't always move people down low, though, in terms of bodying through them, but gets to a hook, has a pretty good touch on his left hand. He also showed down the ability to knock down a standstill three, but he really struggled on pops. And so this kind of makes me think that any sort of movement really throws off his form for now. Very low volume for threes, though, so that could all just be kind of a factor of variance. I think overall, he just kind of needs time to figure out what he really wants to do and how he wants to play. I like the fit with Nebraska, which in theory, he can kind of run handoffs, potentially be a guy that can pop or just kind of roll to the rim and get to the post. Probably would fit better defensively as not having to have a big importance defending the perimeter. You want him more down low, probably not as a primary rim protector, but just a guy that can kind of do a little bit of everything. All right, so we're going to take a look here at him in the post. This is going to be him right here with the ball in his hands. And they're just going to get to the post up. And so this is where I kind of want to show, all right, you can see already right away, he doesn't necessarily move guys a ton off of kind of backing them down. That first one he does a little bit, but the second one he gets walled up. Defender is coming in to help right here. And so this is pretty good patience. And then he's also going to show off a little bit of footwork too, right? So no real space at all to get off the shot. Now he's just going to spin back and then eventually get to his hook. Janowski is a 6'3" freshman combo guard that played at Pewaukee in Wisconsin, where he averaged 30.8 points, 8.2 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and shot 37.2% from three. He is an elite shooter. He can shoot the ball from anywhere. He can shoot the ball off the dribble. He can shoot the ball off the catch. He can shoot the ball off the movement. He can create his own shot. Any sort of shot that you think somebody would take, he is going to be able to take and make. Obviously, this is a very high comparison, and if he gets there, that would be great. But the comp kind of feels like a Keisei Tominaga type, where he's a little bit undersized, but he doesn't need a ton of space and can get a shot off from quite literally anywhere on the floor and can make it. Now, he doesn't always make the most space, like I said, when he's creating his shots, but he does a good job to get enough that he needs to. He can get to the rim, but it does feel pretty difficult. I think especially in high school, he relied on spins and kind of off-balance movement to get to the rim. I think it'll be the probably most difficult part of his offense to translate. Now, I don't love the defense either right now. I think that's probably going to be a work in progress. To me, he feels more like a pure off-ball guard, although I know there's probably hopes of him being more of a pure point guard, especially given that he can run pick and rolls. But he is an elite shooter. He'll be one of the best freshman shooters coming into the Big Ten, maybe the best, honestly, overall. All right, so we're going to take a look here at Janowski being able to just create his own shots and hit down such a tough one. So, going to be with the ball here. He's going to be right here kind of in this post area. Offense is running, and then as this is happening, this is where he's going to be able to just kind of be a guy that can run off movement, right? So he's going to get this pin down coming right here from his teammate. It's going to flow into that, and then, I mean, look where he catches that and then takes it from. Like, he is very much well behind the college even three-point line, multiple feet beyond that, kind of defended still even off of the movement, and at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and click here to see the USC Newcomers video.